Hey guys, it's Double Wide 6, and today I'm making a little video on my self-adjusting wire stripper. It's made from Irwin tools by Vice Grip, and it's number 2078300. And you can see all the moving parts on this thing. It's really quite a contraption. Pretty neat, seems to work well. I'll show you what it can do. So here's how it works. You just put the wire inside the dies and give it a squeeze, and it'll knock the insulation right off the wire nice and quick. And I'm hoping I'm staying in frame for you. Doesn't matter what gauge wire that you give it, it's going to automatically self-select and strip it appropriately for you. Another thing that this tool will do is strip a wire right in the middle. So if you ever need to splice anything, you can do that. I really like this tool for Romex wire. This is just regular housing wire, 14-2. So usually you strip the ends back. I can go about 5 inches back if I need to. And quick go like that. And I can remove that outside sheath. I can then take the end of my Romex, line it up about as deep as I like it, and with one quick slip of the tool, it'll strip all the ends, including our ground wire, which is wrapped in paper. Here's a look at a box that I ripped out of someone's house, and this has an older type of Romex wire. In fact, it's even black. It's just 14-2, and you know, the older wire is thicker than the newer white stuff, and you could see this tool works just as well with this material. So I was playing around, I was trying 14-3 with it. So it has a ground and 3 wires in there. Hardest part of that is getting it in the die. But there you go, you can see it'll do that really easy as well. And then we could just hit those ends. Alright, so now we're moving on to the big stuff. This one is the 12 gauge. I think this tool's made, what's it say there, 10 gauge up through 24 gauge. So 10's pretty thick stuff. That'd be like what you use for a dryer. So 12 gauge be like your dishwasher. It would also be like your hot water heater. So it's pretty thick stuff. So did that with ease. This paper I can probably cut out of the way if I wanted. It's kind of a pain the way that cutter thing works in there, but it's not too bad. Like for instance, if we took that 12 gauge, which is a pretty thick wire, and put it in there, it cuts pretty well, but it's just kind of a pain to get in there. It also does crimping. So if you have any of those blue, red, and yellow connectors, you can do them down there as well. Another thing I figured out that this thing does is, this is actually a cable off a tractor for like a battery. So it's just a round wire. And I'm not sure what gauge it is, but it's stranded wire. If we put that in there and we want to strip the end, need to get down to the bottom so I have some leverage. Strip the end of this, just give it a squeeze, and it'll do it like butter. So the last thing that we want to look at is some really thin wire. These guys are, I don't know how well you can see, but they're really small wires. They're probably 22 gauge or so. So this tool, you'll see, it even gets the really small wires with ease. In fact, it's probably a little easier to use on the small wires just because they're, you know, it takes less pressure to strip. The bigger wires, if you do something like 10 gauge, you really need to get down on the bottom of the handle to have the leverage. It's a little easier to hold in the middle. So, you know, if you're doing soldering, it'd be real good for that. This wire here is pretty thin stuff. This could be like speaker wire. So, you know, this is something that I would use regularly. and we can put that in there and do like a 2-for-1 with that, and you can see it strips that really well too. So overall, I like the tool. It's nice. I'd recommend it. I was asking you guys who would recommend a good tool for me, and actually 4 of you told me that this was a good tool, so I went ahead and bought it. I noticed like on Amazon they had some that are made in China that looked very similar, if not the same, but when you zoom in and look close, I noticed that the fit and finish on the vice grip tool was much smoother, and it didn't have any like scrapes on it like the some of the Chinese tools did. So I'll put a link to this tool if you're interested in it. I just got it. I really like it. I'm pretty impressed with it, and I checked out the reviews and they're pretty good on it. So I'd recommend it. Check out the link and have a great day.